All right, Brap Gang, so this is kind of a long-awaited video. Something I wanted to sit on all summer before I made like my final decision, but I figured now I'm going to cover, after 3 seasons on an Arctic Cat, a Skidoo, and a Polaris, what would I choose as my favorite sled. So as you guys know, I've owned 2 Polaris Assaults, I've owned 2 Arctic Cats, and I've owned 1 G4. I really wanted last year to try out a Skidoo. I hadn't done it in the 5 years I was making YouTube videos, so it felt pretty long overdue. I'm kind of a die-hard crossover guy, but I went a little bit shorter because I've been hearing for literally 5 years that I should try a 137. I don't really need a 144, so I tried it out last year with the Renegade XRS. I know it's got the backcountry colors on it, but this is a Renegade XRS. It's not a backcountry. I guess for those of you that don't want to watch the whole video, I'll just kind of give you the quick answer. My favorite sled is still the Polaris Assault. Last year kind of went through a lot of different mindset changes as the season went on. When I started on this sled, it was a lot of just strictly trail riding, and this thing is an absolute animal on trail. For those of you that are like diehard Skidoo guys or diehard Renegade guys, this sled is amazing at what it does. I mean, it is so good on trail. It absolutely made me believe that a coupled skid does serve a purpose. That might sound kind of like basic knowledge for anybody, but I had ridden uncoupled sleds for so long that I was like, I don't see the point. You know, I would hop on a coupled sled, it'd be a little bit better, but it wouldn't like blow me away. So I didn't really see the point in losing that playfulness for any sort of gain on trail, but I can definitely say it really was an eye-opening experience for me. I just think at my age, I like a little bit more of a playful sled, so I'll kind of get into that now. I don't really need all of that on-trail performance. I already lead my group, and for the most part, it's not like there's a ton of guys that ride with me that, and this is nothing against my friends at all, but like I'm not being like super pushed, you know what I mean? So to gain even more of an advantage on trail, like it's just not something I'm looking for. I could ride an Assault at 10/10ths and feel like I'm going fast, and I was, you know, I was leading the group and keeping up with the faster guys I rode with, and staying out in front of the people in my group that needed to be led. But then when I got this sled, it just kind of increased that gap, and like I don't know that that was really something I was looking for. I saw somebody online say at one point, how fast do you need to go on trail? On an uncoupled sled, I feel I can ride decently fast. Like for what I want to do, I'm not trying to act like I'm Blair Morgan or Tucker Hibbert or something. It gets the job done for me. This sled does it even better and allows me to ride even faster, but I don't really like need that. It just kind of made me wait at intersections longer. When I rode with Coda, it was definitely nice. You know, it was easy to lead, and he's one of the guys that, you know, when we ride together, we kind of push each other. I would have loved to have ridden with the Full Throttle Motorworks guys and kind of see how I stacked up with them, because they're definitely some of the fastest guys I ride with. And then when I rode with one of my hometown buddies, Ben, he's another guy who absolutely rips on any sled that he's on. And this made it easy to stay out in front of them, but it just kind of, like I said, increased my gap. Like it didn't really give me that edge I was looking for, you know what I mean? Like I just didn't really need that. Now, if it kind of maintained all the playfulness of an Assault and still was that great on trail, which was kind of my goal with putting the 1.75 inch track on it, I don't think I'd really have any regrets. But I will say, like, as the season went on, I found myself missing that playfulness of the Assault. Now that's not going to be for everybody, so like I don't want this to be interpreted like that's what I'm saying is, oh, the Assault's better for everybody. I mean, if you're the type of guy that really is trail riding and you just kind of want to like float in some deep snow every now and then, I don't think that the Renegade will do you wrong. But if you're the type of guy that's like kind of trying to challenge themselves off trail, kind of trying to get more into boondocking, you like how it can lift the skis and the powder, all that stuff, the Assault does a better job with all that. It's kind of like I said when I compared the Assault to the Riot. It just did everything the Riot did a little bit better, but I will say the Riot was a little bit better on trail. This is significantly better on trail than an Assault, but just it's not really something I need or want at this age. You know, I'm sure a few years down the line, it's something I will absolutely love. And as a package, I'll say like I built this sled into something that is awesome. It's got the 7.5 inch shapers on it. It's got the 1 3/4 track. I got the custom bars that really fit perfect. I have the adjustable brake lever. For me, this sled worked absolutely amazing and did everything on trail I could ever want. Like, I don't think I'd ever want a better on trail sled. But, you know, when I put the 1 3/4 track on, when I hit the lake, I'm seeing 103, 105 on the speedo. You know, whereas on the Assault, it was 110, you know, 112 on the speedo. And you kind of miss that bragging right. And also you think to yourself, what have I sacrificed? You know, I took a trail sled and I tried to make it more off-trail capable. I didn't really succeed all that great at it. Sure, it could get through the deep snow, absolutely no problem, but it didn't really have that like playfulness that the Assault has. And now I've sacrificed top speed, but at the same time, because this is a stiffer lug track, it does have really great on-trail traction. So it's just kind of one of those things, you know, sometimes you think you know better than a manufacturer, but also they kind of build these sleds to fit their very specific segments. The Assault can do so much. It can be a solid trail performer. It can be a solid off-trail performer. It can be one of the fastest sleds on the lake as far as like 2-stroke 800s go. I mean, there's just not a lot of disadvantages for me at this age. If you're the type of person that doesn't want to wrestle a sled around and you just want the best trail sled you can possibly buy, I think something like a Renegade or an MXZ XRS, I mean, they're such a good sled, and I don't think they should be overlooked in any way. But for me, at this point in my life, I do think something that's a little bit more playful is just what I'm looking for. It just comes down to personal preference. Like I've said that a million times, and I guess that's kind of what I want to share with you guys. My personal preference has been the Assault, and it still is the Assault. That's not going to be for everybody, whether it's seating position, engine characteristics, clutching characteristics, on-trail capability, off-trail capability, what you do to your sled. If you're the type of guy that throws CNA Pro skis on a sled, that completely changes the entire handling dynamics of the sleds. You know, you just got to find out what works best for you. But if you're kind of in my age bracket, you know, mid to late 20s, and you like a playful sled, and you're kind of thinking about what direction do I go, that's what I've always tried to show everybody, while also still highlighting the best characteristics of the sleds and some things that I think could be better. I don't think there's really anything this sled was built to do that it doesn't do. It's a 137 bump bridging, super trail capable sled. Probably order it with a 1.25 track on it, because that's probably going to make it do the most stuff. It's going to make it fast. It's going to make it good on trail, you know, that sort of thing. If anybody's interested in buying it, I will be selling it at some point. So definitely just reach out and let me know. I'm not going to sell it till my new sled comes in. So I guess that's the one stipulation. I want to be able to make content and ride. So if your snow check or your spring order doesn't come in and you're kind of looking for something in that like January time frame, chances are this sled will be for sale, and it's going to basically come with everything you see on it except the link gas can, but everything else is going to stay. And I mean, I dumped a lot of money into it last year, so I think it's going to be a really enjoyable sled for whoever buys it. Thank you so much for the support, and I look forward to when I finally do have my new sled and I can make some videos with it. But it'd be cool to get a couple more rides in on the Renegade, crest 1,000 miles on it,